Selected from a nationwide search, 20 men and women have come to Hollywood to challenge our force of American Gladiators for a single honor, to become American Gladiators champions. Now, here are your American Gladiators: Gemini, Lace, Nitro, Gold, Laser, Blaze, Thunder, Ice, Turbo, and Diamond. The host for American Gladiators, Mike Adamle, and his co-host, Larry Csonka.
Hi again, everyone. I'm Mike Adamle, and welcome to this edition of American Gladiators. Our quarterfinal round is underway, and the proposition for the contenders is very simple. Win, you're in. Lose, well, pack your bags and think of what might have been. My co-host has been a winner all his life. He's the quintessential NFL fullback, power fullback, Hall of Famer from the Miami Dolphins, Mr. Larry Csonka. Larry, you know the contenders came into our preliminary round not knowing what to expect. But in the quarterfinals, there's no room for alibis.
Well, you know, experience is going to be the key to it. You can't plead ignorance as being bliss any longer. The fact of the matter is the strategy. The people that have the strategy going into the second round are going to be the ones that come out the champions. Of course, there's strategy on both sides. Our Gladiators have had a little experience with some of our contenders, too, so neither side of this fence is going to be easy.
Well, we know the Gladiators are battle-tested, so let's meet our contenders for this quarterfinal round.
In our women's quarterfinal, please welcome back Maria Nichting of Cincinnati, Ohio, a human services worker. And her opponent, Susan Hirst of Glendale, Arizona, an Air Force captain and mother of two. In the men's competition, here's Wesley Keck of Arlington, Texas, a firefighter. And his opponent, Vopatek of La Jolla, California, a bouncer and student at San Diego State.
If you missed the prelims, Susan Hirst, a captain in the Air Force. And Susan, what about the experience that you gained from the preliminary round?
Well, it's given me a lot of apprehension for today, and I'm hoping that I can just turn it into some positive energy and go out there and do a good job.
Chris, you're a certified thrill seeker. You've done cliff jumping. You've parachute jumped before. Has anything in your past compared to what you experienced during the preliminary round on American Gladiators?
I think these guys are about the biggest thrill I've ever had to go against.
Zonk?
Maria, you've been through it. You've run the whole gamut. You've done very well. Let me ask you something. What event was the biggest shocker for you?
The Powerball. I mean, this is tough. There's not fun and games anymore. I mean, you have to give it your all and have the right attitude, and I'm hoping the little bit of experience I got last time is going to help me get through today.
Well, good luck. A little strategy wouldn't hurt in that Powerball game. Wesley, you look a little nervous. We were talking backstage right before the show. The nerves are something you never get over, kind of pre-game jitters.
Yeah, exactly. I'm probably a little more nervous this round than the first, but it's like in football. After the first hit, that kind of goes away, and survival instinct kind of kicks in. So,
good luck to both of you. Mike?
Well, I like what Maria had to say about having a good attitude, but keep in mind, our Gladiators are experienced attitude adjusters. With that in mind, let the games begin. This is how the competition works on American Gladiators. Our contenders, 2 men and 2 women, will compete in 7 very different events against our American Gladiators. Now, the contenders who amass the most points in those 7 rigorous confrontations automatically advance to the semifinals and also move 1 step closer to our championship final. At stake, over $150,000 in cash and prizes.
Laser, Nitro, and Turbo draw the opening assignment as we get ready for Powerball. As Wesley's wife, Michael, looks on with a little encouragement. See Wesley, a big fella, 6'2", 230 pounds, played a little semi-pro football. We look at Vopatek. He advanced over Purple Roundy in the preliminary rounds.
And in this quarterfinal round, the points in Powerball have been doubled. Goals scored in the outer cylinders are now worth 2 points. A goal in the center cylinder worth 4. Wes Keck in the red and Vopatek in the blue, and feeling a little black and blue after that shot from Laser.
Laser going up top, grabbing him by the head and laying him down. Now he puts Turbo with not much success there either.
Chris trying to make a move on Laser, and once again he is bulldogged to the ground.
Mike Wesley demonstrating some extra running back tendencies there. I notice he's also smiling through the competition.
West reaching out and trying to get another goal.
Chris makes one look easy. West having a little trouble getting out into the scoring zone.
Chris has patented that dive for the cylinders. Not too many of them have gone in, and that is it. The 45 seconds is up.
Wesley jogging off the field. The Gladiators are happy about the situation, but a lot of points were scored.
I'll tell you what, Chris, if nothing else, you deserve the Purple Heart or the Bronze Star for valor in the face of some pretty intense competition. You took more shots than I've seen any contender ever take in a game of Powerball.
That's what I'm here for.
To take shots?
To give them and take them.
Great effort, Chris. By day, a mild-mannered firefighter from Texas, but when you get in this Powerball circle, West, you turn it on. You turn it up that extra notch.
Yeah, I got lucky on a couple of them. I would fall in behind Chris and able to get a couple of buckets in. These guys are hitting hard.
Wes, congratulations. You earned 6 points. Right now, the important thing, get a breather and rest up for the rest of the competition.
So Wesley jumps out to an early lead over Chris in our men's quarterfinal. But there's more action ahead, including the wall, as well as Atlas there. But hang on, women's Powerball is next.
Welcome back to Universal Studios Hollywood, where Blaze, Gold, and Diamond await the start of women's Powerball. In this quarterfinal, Maria Nichting, a winner over Esther Ratner in the preliminary round. She'll take on Susan Hirst, the top seed from our losers bracket, after losing a close one to Margaret McCargo. And once again, our contenders have 45 seconds to score as many goals as they can. Referee Larry Thompson gets the match underway, and look at this. Diamond riding Maria Nichting. Hang on, cowgirl. No goal, though. Larry, first time we've ever seen that technique before.
A little different technique by Diamond, but the important thing is she kept her from scoring.
Susan Hirst, the 30-year-old Air Force captain from Glendale, Arizona, getting the rough treatment from Blaze, and there's referee Larry Thompson's whistle. Let's hear his ruling.
We have a disqualification of Blaze. High tackle at the neck. The remainder of the game will be played with 2 gladiators against 2 contenders.
Blaze getting a little violent early on. Evidently, she made a tackle up high around the head. You're going to see it right here in the replay. She gives her a little shove, but there it is. She wraps her and throws her down with a headlock.
So that no-no by the Gladiators will mean that the contenders have only 2 gladiators to face, Diamond and Gold, and that should work to the contenders' advantage. But so far, nobody's been able to score. Here comes Susan. Gold pushes her out of bounds. Maria's having a dickens of a time. She's been on the ground all game long.
Puts a nice fake on Diamond and scores. Gold excited. She's been doing pretty well on the one-on-one. As we hit the end of the contest, and Susan doing very well despite being 8 years older than Maria. Still comes down with a 2-zip victory. Mike?
Maria, this game of Powerball is hard enough to play, but you decide to make it even harder by dragging Diamond on your back about 10 feet, and you nearly scored.
I know I didn't think she was going to ever fall off, but I thought I'd try for it.
Do you have any idea what you look like out there?
Probably look like a camel or something. I don't know. I just wanted it. Oh, well. Get them next time.
Maria, well done. You will get them next time. Susan, your persistence paid off, and I know somewhere your young daughters, Stephanie and Stacy, are going to be watching this performance. What do you think they're going to think of Mom?
Well, I hope...
What are you doing, Mother?
Yeah, I hope they don't really want to follow in my footsteps here. This isn't something I want my kids to do.
Did you ever get discouraged out there? I mean, they keep stopping you, and then finally you were able to score.
Oh, yeah, I was discouraged. It's a tough game. You think you have some great plans and ideas, but they don't always pan out. The Gladiators are really tough.
Nice effort, Susan. Congratulations.
So Susan's persistence pays off in the opening event. While over in the men's competition, Wesley leads Chris by a mere 2 points as they prepare to scale the wall. Our 32-foot structure in which our contenders have 60 seconds to climb while a gladiator pursues. But as Chris Vopatek attests, that can work as an advantage.
Oh, I'm sure the adrenaline is just going to be incredible. With that gladiator behind you, you're just going to have to go for it. Look up at that wall and just get up there as quick as possible.
Well, the Gladiator in this case chasing Chris is none other than Thunder. Wesley Keck will have Gemini pursuing him. Incidentally, both contenders made it to the top of the wall in the prelims. Chris in a very fast time of 31 seconds. Once again, each contender given a 10-second head start. Chris in the blue, Wes in the red. And Larry, Chris mentioned the adrenaline factor. Actually, you have to harness that adrenaline in this event. If you're too pumped up, if you're too aggressive, you can make a costly mistake.
That's exactly right, Mike. You've got to keep your eye contact on the wall, the hand contact on the wall, and in this case, it's a little more difficult because the location of the hand grips has been changed since the preliminary round.
At the moment, Chris with a slight lead as he tries to pick his way towards the top. And look at Wes, he's got both hands on one grip, and he can't hang on.
As you see Chris make it to the top, he kept the concentration and made it to pick up the 10 points.
Chris, there's an old saying in sports that to do well, you got to play with pain. And I know you got a little tendonitis in that shoulder, but you told me just moments ago that you didn't feel it going up.
Now with a big guy like Thunder behind you, you just go. Get to the top as quick as possible.
Chris, once again, 33 seconds. Congratulations. Get a little ice on that shoulder. Chris Vopatek.
With a 10-zip win over Wesley in the wall event, Chris now takes a 14-6 lead over his opponent after 2 events. The women are up next on the wall, where Susan holds an early 2-zip lead over Maria.
And you know, Larry, after being pulled off by Blaze in the prelims, Maria seems confident that this time she'll make it up despite being challenged by ice. Now, Susan Hirst did make it up to the summit in the prelims the last time. This time, she'll be trailed by Lace.
Lace smiling at the thought of going up the wall, also waving over to her ever-present fan club.
Ready? Susan in the blue, Maria in the red, and Susan, the Air Force captain from Arizona, you would think that she wouldn't have too much difficulties with height.
Well, Mike, Maria's not having any trouble either. She has very fluid motion. There's no wasted motion as she goes from hand grip to hand grip, and a little added incentive as the Gladiator closes on her.
Maria actually with a slight lead right now on Susan Hirst. Remember, Maria didn't make it to the top, and right now, ice has got her by the ankle, and then the shoe, and then she lost it.
She pulled the shoe clear off and flipped it away. I think Ice thought she had a little better grip than what she did as you see Maria scale the wall.
Susan Hirst not giving up. She still has a chance to earn 5 points if she can make it to the top.
Lace very close, breathing right on her heels. She still has both her shoes to this point, though. A little mixed up on just exactly which hand grip to grab a hold of here. She's going to have to make a move because Lace is closing the gap slowly. And she runs out of time. You can see the fatigue also setting in as they start to shake, literally trying to hang on to the wall.
Free attraction and getting a good grip is a very big part of this event. You lost part of that attraction when the Gladiator was able to pull your shoe off. How did you do it?
I don't know. It was harder with one shoe off. I thought maybe it would be a little easier getting a grip, but it wasn't. It hurt, actually. But I wanted it so bad that nothing was going to stop me this time. I knew I had to do this. It was like if I didn't, it was going to be a crutch throughout the rest of the competition. Now I know I can do it, and nothing's going to stop me now.
A determined young lady. Maria loses her shoe, but gains 10 points on the wall, and as a result, she takes her first lead over Susan, 10-2. Still to come on the American Gladiators is our game of hit or be hit assault, as well as the joust, but Atmosphere is up next.
Welcome back to Universal Studios Hollywood for more of the American Gladiators. I'm Mike Adamle along with Larry Csonka, and Csonka, our next event, something called Atmosphere.
Sort of a rock'em, sock'em, bang'em up, clang'em up demolition derby.
The operative words here, smash, mash, and bash.
In this quarterfinal round of Atmosphere, we've increased the point value to 3 points for each goal. In Atmosphere, 2 contenders compete simultaneously in an effort to roll themselves into one of 4 scoring pods. 2 gladiators are also present, however, in an effort to keep them from scoring by means of their own metal spheres. So after 2 events, Chris Vopatek leads Wesley Keck by 8 points.
And the 24-year-old Vopatek from La Jolla, California, getting loaded inside of his Atmosphere. Wesley Keck from Arlington, Texas, doing the same. And if you remember the preliminary round, West was really able to get that Atmosphere moving. Those powerful legs of his and his football player background really helped him in this event.
Gladiators ready!
However, in this match, it could be tough for the contenders to score because Thunder and Turbo offer the opposition. And the match is underway.
Get a big bang right off the start as all four Atlas Spheres collide center court.
Wes Keck there, the first to get in the scoring pod.
Well, Chris and Wes met each other. Chris coming away with a point, but they had a bang-up time as they met at the scoring pod.
That actually worked to Chris's advantage because Wes's momentum knocked Chris back into the pod.
Tough thing for the contenders just to stay off that ramp, stay off the wall as we watch Wes settle in for another score. Most difficult thing here is when a gladiator gets one of those Atlas Spheres and the contender in it pressed against the rail, takes tremendous leg drive to push him away and get free.
No score yet.
At times, this event looks rather tame, but when you're inside those Atlas Spheres, it's tough and rugged. Wes, this is an event that is guaranteed to scramble your brains a bit.
Definitely. It's a tough event. I had luck with it the first round. Not quite as much the second round, but I had fun with it.
Are your ears ringing? Because I heard some tremendous clangs out there.
Yeah, a little bit. There was a lot of contact this round.
Congratulations. Well done.
Wesley picks up a 6-3 win in Atlas Sphere, but Chris Vopatek still leads him overall after 3 events, 17-12. Over in the women's quarterfinal, Maria leads Susan 10-2.
And the Gladiators offering opposition for the women contenders. Diamond, she's being loaded inside of her Atlas Sphere, and also Blaze. Now, Atlas Sphere, of course, one of our new events here on the American Gladiators, and the one thing the women have going against them is their lack of body weight, as we have seen in the preliminary rounds. So they have to rely more on technique. And believe it or not, Larry, there is a technique involved here.
Certainly is, Mike. Not just the ability and the strength in their legs to get the Atlas Sphere rolling, but also the timing to throw their weight against the Atlas Sphere in order to get it stopped in the scoring pod.
Well, let's see who's more successful here between Susan Hirst and Maria Nichting. Maria with a breakaway right off the bat, and she scores, and Susan does as well. So early on, it's 3-3. Each goal being worth 3 points.
Appears our Gladiators had a little trouble deciding who was going to chase whom in the very beginning there, Mike.
And once again, Susan Hirst is scored. She's doing an amazing job of keeping that Atlas Sphere moving despite the fact that she weighs probably about 130 pounds.
The biggest dilemma is how to keep her feet warm from all that cold air rushing up from the scoring pod.
Those are actually plumes of nitrogen gas, which signify to the audience and the contenders that they have indeed scored. And Susan Hirst, boy, she's racked up another one.
She's up and down this track like she's on a motor scooter, Mike.
She came into this event trailing by 8 points, but with the 4 goals, she picks up 12 and now has moved ahead of Maria Nichting.
As we spoke about earlier, Mike, the trick in this Atlas Sphere is to get the ball controlled and stopped. You see Maria not having any problem getting it rolling, but having a lot of problem getting it to stop. So a big win for Susan in Atlas Sphere. And now she leads 14-13. And after 3 events, Chris leads Wesley by 5 points as they take aim in assault. And in assault, each contender has 60 seconds to hit a target placed above the gladiator using one of several weapons. He starts off with a crossbow, but if he misses there, he moves on over to the rocket launcher. After firing and missing there, he moves on across the floor to find the cannon. If he misses there, he has the right to move on to the handgun. And finally, after the handgun, he dashes over to the final safe zone where he finds 3 softballs he can hurl at the target. And if a contender's out of ammo at that point, but not out of time, he may continue to cross the finish line without getting hit for 4 points.
And Wesley Keck, the semi-pro football player, is looking at this show as a springboard to bigger things.
I'm still trying to play professional football. I'm still trying to get a tryout, and I hope that, you know, it possibly could look good on a resume if I do well. To show that I'm a fairly decent athlete. I think that might open some teams' eyes, and maybe I could get another shot at the NFL.
Right now, Wesley's going to get a shot at the assault event. As we see his expectant wife, Michael, looking on. He's also going to have his hands full because Nitro's at the cannon. And we call him Deadeye around here.
Larry, you don't suppose some frenzied NFL coach is going to get a crazy idea and incorporate assault as part of training camp, do you?
Training camp will never be like that, Mike.
West sets himself with the crossbow. That shot just barely missed the top of that target.
Wes has a good idea of where the cannon's at, and he keeps his body faced upfield all the time. A little dismayed with what happened to the rocket launcher.
I think he inadvertently touched the trigger, and that's what caused the rocket launcher to go off. The shot of the cannon, however, right there. Just below the white area, which would have been a bullseye worth 10. Instead, he gets 7. Nitro not used to being picked off, but Wesley Keck is all smiles, as is his wife, Michael. Nice job, Larry.
Wes, in the preliminaries, you made it to the cannon, got hit at the cannon. This time, you're right on the money.
Yeah, I was real fortunate. Luckily, the cannon was pointing where it needed to go, and all I had to do was pull the trigger. It worked out all right.
Well, that's 7 points for you. Good luck the rest of the day.
7 points have enabled Wesley Keck to now take a 19-17 lead over Chris Vopatek. This is the first time Chris has trailed in this competition since the first event. So obviously his mission to hit the target and get back in the lead. Nitro again doing the honors for the Gladiators.
Well, Mike, as you remember in the preliminary round, Chris was lucky enough to hit the target. Let's see how he does today.
First shot coming up here with the crossbow, and that one is bound to make Nitro mad. So mad, as a matter of fact, that he decides to get this match over with early. So he picks off Chris in the leg.
Chris was looking upfield, seemingly had his eye on Nitro, but it appeared he made a little false move there, a stutter step, and Nitro picked him off with a shot to the foot. So Wesley, with his 7-zip win in assault, turns the tables in the men's quarterfinal, now leading Chris 19-17. We've had 5 lead changes so far, and there's plenty left, including the joust. Break through and conquer. But next, women's assault.
Welcome back to Universal Studios Hollywood, where the women are set for assault. And our Air Force captain, Susan Hirst, has a 1-point lead over the Cincinnati kid, Maria Nichting, as they prepare to challenge Lace.
And earlier, Mike, Maria told us why she likes the concept of American Gladiators.
This is something that I can do and actually get credit for doing, you know, nationally, you know, not like the football players and the baseball players. It's mostly men-oriented professional sports. And now here's something us women can do and be recognized for.
Maria has already gotten recognition back in her hometown of Cincinnati. Former Bengal quarterback Kenny Anderson, who now works as a sports broadcaster, did a little piece on Maria and her competition here on the American Gladiators.
Well, Mike, as Kenny brought up, she's quite a competitor, but the thing I like about her most, as you watch her work her way across for the rocket launcher, is that she's always smiling. She's not afraid to throw her body in there. She has a great attitude.
Maria's setting herself with the rocket launcher. That shot a little bit wide. She's having trouble with that chest protector, which has come loose. Diving for that third safe zone, and that dive cost her because Lace was able to pick her off.
As you mentioned, she had a little trouble with the chest protector. As you see Lace taking a bow, here she makes a dive. She's blind to the cannon at this point and gets hit in the foot.
So now Susan Hirst will have her chance to see if she can dodge the tennis balls fired by Lace. Again, each contender has 60 seconds to try to hit that target located above the Gladiator. There you see it. The red area, a hit worth 7 points. If you hit the bullseye, the white area, that's worth 10.
Mike, what happened there while you're talking, Lace laid in a shot that hit the crossbow and made it malfunction. If we watch Susan work up to the rocket launcher, maybe she'll be a little luckier here.
Moving to the third safe zone, the cannon. Again, working against the clock, and that time, well, the third time, the third safe zone, the charm for Susan Hirst.
An outer target hit earns 7 points for Susan and increases her lead to 21-13 after 4 events. Our next event is the joust, in which our contenders have 30 seconds to knock a gladiator off his platform during 10 points. Much needed points in our close men's competition after 4 events.
Wes Keck with a 2-point lead over Chris Vopatek, who is up first. He won in the preliminary rounds in the joust, but he didn't face this man, the dangerous Gemini.
Gemini makes short work of him with a roundhouse left. It'll come right across his head. Knocks him off balance. He takes a false step with his left foot. Literally knocks himself off the platform.
So Wes Keck will now get his chance against the mighty Gemini. And with some points here, he could increase his lead over Chris. But I tell you what, Gemini again has patented that 1-2 punch. There you see Wes's wife, Michael. She can't believe that Wes was knocked off so quickly.
Wesley's having trouble believing it too, Mike.
Gemini, you don't have to apologize to anybody. I get the feeling that sometimes it takes a big man, a strong opponent to bring the best out in you.
Well, yeah, that's it. I think all the contenders are very strong, very gifted athletes. Each level they get to, they got to get it up a notch. You can't be intimidated. You got to be ready to take the Gladiators on, or you're going to become a notch on somebody's belt.
And if they're smart, they'll heed your words, Gemini. Well done. Congratulations. You're still the king in the joust.
Not much for Wesley's wife, Michael, to smile about as Gemini shuts out the men and holds them at 19-17 after 5 events. It's the women's turn now, with Susan holding a 21-13 margin over Maria.
And both Susan and Maria hoping not to become notches in Gold's gun belt. Gold doing the honors for the Gladiators in the joust. And Larry, you talked about intimidation. Earlier, we had a chance to ask Susan Hirst what fears she had coming into the American Gladiators.
My biggest fear is more the fear of letting myself down. I don't want to let myself down and then have to admit that I let myself down. So it's giving up at some point in time. I don't want to give up. I don't expect to give up, but I'm afraid. I'm afraid of what that might happen. And again, that could end up being my greatest asset, because maybe that fear of the letdown will keep me from letting down.
Well, I don't know about that letdown, but I think if I was getting up there against Gold, I wouldn't even consider letting down.
You let down against Gold, that spells almost certain defeat. Susan getting in some early licks, but immediately after that, she goes on the defensive. Gold wailing away.
She's using Susan's head for a battering ram here.
Susan, you got to fight back, girl. Susan trying to probe with the pugil stick to the midsection of Gold. It's not working. Gold just keeps firing away.
Susan's doing a good job, if you look at the defensive side of everything, of absorbing blows and managing to stay on the platform. As we see the end of the competition, she managed to hang in there, but she took a lot of blows. Really, she did a great job of hanging in there and picking up 5 points. Mike?
Susan, I'm going to echo what the fans were saying. What are you, crazy?
Yes! I think I was crazy. It's probably the dumbest thing I've ever done in my life.
Sitting here, I was counting 22 unanswered blows. You're going to have quite a headache tomorrow.
I have some Advil.
As we now have Maria getting ready to take Gold on in the joust. In an earlier competition in the preliminary rounds, Maria fought to a draw against Gold.
That performance by Susan might be called Take Two and Call Me in the Morning. Maria hoping not for a duplicate performance here. Again, the contender, in this case, Maria, the first to get the initial contact. But she, like Susan, has to go on the defensive because Gold is relentless with that pugil stick. And she is down, but not out. That's perfectly legal. You're allowed to get up. You just can't get knocked off.
Mike's doing a good job of keeping her feet wide apart. She's got the wide stance and she absorbs the blow very well, but she just can't seem to deliver one herself. Gold, on the other hand, did a great job of punishing her, but couldn't knock her off the platform.
Maria, you could have easily given up. You should have been beaten about 4 or 5 times. You actually got up off the deck and responded and somehow lasted against Gold.
It's called pure determination.
Gold, what about it?
I'm exhausted. That was a great workout. Thanks.
Gold and Maria, nicely done. And we'll be back with more of the American Gladiators right after this.
Susan's lead over Maria remains 8 points after 5 events. Still to come is the Eliminator. But up next is Breakthrough and Conqueror.
Welcome back to Universal Studios Hollywood, and in this men's quarterfinal, Wes Keck leads Chris Vopatek 19-17. as our men line up for the event that's part football and part wrestling. Breakthrough and conquer.
And Gemini will be our gladiator to handle the responsibilities in breakthrough, and Laser, the gladiator, to handle the conquer ring. As we see Wesley Keck getting himself ready. Wesley, a semi-pro football player. I'm sure that he has practiced a few moves in this category, wouldn't you think, Mike?
Indeed he has, Larry. He gained 1,500 yards for the Duncanville Mustangs in semi-pro ball in Texas back in 1988. 6'2", 230. He should be more than a match for Gemini. Nice moves, too, for the big man. Gemini never really had a chance. 5 points there. Now, the object for Wes, knock any part of Laser's body outside that ring, and that's what he did. Under the 10-second time limit, Wes Keck picks up 10 points.
Wes is quite a competitor. He just blew through this as you watch the replay. Almost out of bounds, right on the edge, manages to get that left foot in for the score.
Be a tall order for Chris to duplicate that feat, but that's exactly what he has to do. Gemini is mighty. He's huffing and puffing and really snorting right now because he wants a little revenge. Didn't like what Wesley did to him. Vopatek trying a couple of fancy moves, nothing doing.
Gemini didn't go for the moves, kept his head down, met him up in the chest, and took him out of bounds.
All right, wait for my whistle now. Wait for the whistle.
And I think Laser's in an angry mood as well.
Laser looks like a cobra eyeing a mouse here. But the mouse wins.
The mouse roared. And he picked up 5 points.
As we see him running downfield on the replay, Gemini with a good open field tackle, a little high, sort of hard on the nose. Here, Chris does a great job of just literally overpowering Laser for a millisecond, just long enough to get him out of the ring. Wesley wins this breakthrough and conquer battle. It increases his lead over Chris to 7 points after 6 events. Over in the women's bracket, Susan has the lead over Maria as they get ready to challenge Blaze and Lace.
And Lace will handle the breakthrough portion of this event, and in the conquer ring, Blaze will hold forth. First up, Maria Nichting from Cincinnati.
Oh, Maria with a little growl. I love it.
Raging bull kind of face.
Here I come. Look out.
I don't think she's going to try much in the way of moves, but give Lace all the credit in the world. She puts her body out in front of the contender and doesn't lay down.
Stood her ground. She got knocked over, but saved the touchdown, saved the big score.
Now Blaze would like nothing more than to keep Maria 0 for 2. Maria has 10 seconds to knock any portion of Blaze's body outside the ring. Blaze doing a great job keeping Maria's head down there early on, but with 2 seconds left, she's able to pull Blaze outside the conquer ring and picks up 5 points.
Blaze, as you alluded to earlier, did a great job of holding Maria's head down. Then Maria went in with a little high fake and ducked under and managed to get her weight off balance and made the score.
And now Susan Hirst leads by only 3 points. Again, Susan, 30 years old, a mother of 2 young daughters, Stephanie and Stacy. No doubt looking on to watch Mom as she tries to get by Lace, and she does.
Suppose Susan's practiced that with the daughters. Lace can't believe she missed her.
Now a chance to pick up another 5 points here in the conquer ring. Susan very close. She's got Blaze on the edge. But time runs out. Blaze very quick, very nifty on her feet.
Lace, you can't fool me. I've seen too many linebackers. You were looking for the cutback, and it never came. She just accelerated right for the corner.
She shifted gears, boy, and she just put the pedal to the metal. And for that right-hand corner, she faked me out good, too. Good athletes study other athletes' games. You know, you watch the tapes, and maybe she's been watching American Gladiators a whole lot. But she got me, and all right, that's cool.
Blaze, I don't know if we should call you Blaze or the Phantom Lady. I didn't think it was humanly possible to just disappear in an 8-foot or 10-foot circle like you did.
Well, I was trying to evade her, because the rules are that we can't really pin them or anything, tackle them, hold them down. So I was trying to stay out of her way.
You were a phantom. Every time she grabbed for you, there was nothing there but air.
Yeah, I dodge.
You're quick. You're a blazer. Good job, y'all. Thank you.
Susan, I don't think Lace realized that for Breakthrough and Conquer, you had a secret weapon. About 5 minutes before the competition started, your husband, Steve, was able to fly in. He watched you in this competition, and you really showed your stuff. Nice move on Lace.
Thanks. That's what I was doing it for. I was real happy my husband, Steve, was able to make it.
You know, Larry and I were talking about this just prior to you starting. What possesses a 30-year-old mother of two to get involved in a competition like this?
Just a new challenge, something different to do, something I've never done. I have two little girls, Stephanie and Stacy, that they like to see me do things, and we watched it on TV and said, this is something new, different. I'll probably never have a chance again.
And guess what? You did terrific. It was wonderful stuff.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
Great job. Well, kids, don't try this at home because Mom's pretty good at it. After 6 events, Mom holds a 31-23 lead over Maria. Who will advance to the semifinals? The Eliminator tells all right after this.
Universal Studios Hollywood for our final event, The Eliminator.
Mike, both contenders start at the treadmill and must run against the belt in an effort to reach the top. Once they get there, each contender must cross a 30-foot span using a specially designed hand bike. Then it's on across a balance beam, where the gladiators throw weighted blocking pads in an attempt to knock the contenders off.
And Csonka, if the contenders have survived this far, it's time to scramble up a 20-foot cargo net. And then it's a breezy ride down a zip line that takes the contender over the entire length of the arena floor. And then one final straightaway where the contenders have to clear a set of hurdles. And then they have to make an important choice, because behind 3 of these doors lie American Gladiators, all determined to keep the contender from crossing that finish line. And after 6 events, there you see it. Susan Hirst with the lead over Maria Nichting.
And Mike, those 8 points mean that Maria would have to beat Susan by 4 seconds in order to advance.
The women have 75 seconds to complete the Eliminator course. Each second they are under that 75-second time limit is worth 2 points. Winner goes on to the semifinals. Susan in the blue, Maria in the red. They are off, and they are up very quickly. Maria, the first on a hand bike, struggling a bit, but pushing on, so is Susan Hirst.
Hand bike is very, very demanding on upper body strength. Takes a lot out of the contenders.
Maria whizzes across that balance beam. Now she has quite a lead. Susan makes it across. They're on the cargo net now.
Susan gaining a little ground on Maria as they go up and press down at the top of the cargo net.
And down the zip line they come. Maria Nichting first in the red. Susan Hirst hot on her heels. This is going to be extremely close. Maria picks the unguarded door and finishes in a time of 51 seconds. Susan's time, 55 seconds. So Maria has tied the score at 71. And with the faster eliminator, Maria advances to the semifinals.
Maria, you knew it was down to the milliseconds, literally, going into the eliminator. What was on your mind?
I was under a lot of stress and I was very nervous, and I knew I had to win by at least 4 seconds, and I barely did it. I wish it wouldn't have been so close because I about made myself sick worrying about it, but it turned out for the best. I mean, I was just determined again, and I was always known for being the last inning. I would always get a hit or the last out or something, you know. I don't choke, and I thank God for that.
Well, you certainly didn't choke in this one. You blew through the eliminator and just barely edged it out. But you, in fact, are our champion. Welcome to the semifinals, and good luck.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
About a round of applause for our winner, Maria. Thank you.
A great come-from-behind effort by Maria Nichting, who tied the score at 71, but because she had the faster eliminator time, she goes on. Now, another close one in our men's race. Wesley leads Chris by 7 points. That difference means 3.5 seconds Chris would have to beat Wes by to advance to the semifinals. Like Maria and Susan, the battle between Wesley Keck and Chris Vopatek has been close all competition long. Chris in the blue, Wes in the red, and there they go. Vopatek cranking on that hand bike. But look at Wes Keck, like a machine up there, a well-oiled machine.
Wes doing a great job on the balance beam, takes a heck of a hit from Laser, loses his balance, but makes the platform, and now is closing the gap.
Chris Vopatek, again, he has to win by 3.5 seconds. He's now widening his lead as he comes down the zip line. Over the hurdles. And Larry got lucky. He picked that open door, finishing a time of 39 seconds. West bowls over the Gladiator to finish at a time of 44.
Chris only needing to pick up a 3.5-second difference, and in fact picked up 5 seconds, and that's why he's going to advance to the semifinals. As you see Turbo coming over and congratulating both contenders for a fine competition.
Through 6 events, Chris Vopatek and Wesley Keck went back and forth. It came down to the eliminator final. Chris needed to win by 3.5 seconds, and he won by 5, and he's going on to the semifinals. And Wesley, as you suspected, the eliminator was not your best event. You were a little slow, but you were going great guns. You went flying across on the hand bike, and then you kind of lost your balance there on the balance beam, had to scramble back to the platform, and ultimately that was your undoing.
That's true. The beam is what threw me off, and he got past me and did a great job all the way, and had a good time with it, but it was tough.
You were a great contender, and we enjoyed having you here on the American Gladiators. Congratulations, Wesley Keck. You deserve it. Chris, you wild, crazy man, you. You know, you were short on technique in every event, but your spirit, your just kind of heck bent for leather kind of attitude worked and paid off.
Yeah, well, when you got to go against these guys, it brings it out of you. And every time I get up against one of these guys, you look them in the eye, they got this look that they want to tear you apart. So you got to look them right back and just go at it with everything you got.
Well, Chris, I hope you've saved something in reserve because you're going to need it. You're going on to the semifinals. Chris Vopatek.
Another tight race. Chris advances with a score of 64 to Wesley's 61.